Okay, hi gang, how you doing? So we're back for our second instalment um, of Mary's Hour. So this one today is when relationships go wrong. So relationships can be a friendship, it can be a couple, it could be maybe family, something like that, blah blah blah. Relationship with a coach or different things for there. Relationships in general, when a relationship goes wrong. So this is what we're going to talk about today. Now, as people, same again, I've been coming in and they've been sending me some stuff and saying, ask that, ask that, ask that. Still try to get some people on, but they're a bit shy about it. So, but that's okay. We're just starting out with it anyway, right? So I'm thoroughly enjoying this, thoroughly enjoying it. So this time's a wee bit better this week. We've got the proper mics all rigged up for there, the proper streaming. So everything's far better for there. So as I say, we're going to talk about when relationships go wrong. And as I said, relationship can be anything. It can be a relationship with a family. It can be a relationship with friends. It can be a relationship with your trainer or this or that or blah blah blah. Relationship isn't a whole for there, right? So this is what we're going to talk about for there. So number one is I've got it written down here. This is what people have been putting into me for there. What makes a relationship go bad? Well, what makes a relationship go bad? Now, I'm going to talk about my own experience as well here, by the way. So I'm not trying to come on here and make myself out to look like a saint. Anybody that really knows me, seems to be my motto on it, knows that I don't talk like that for you. So what makes a relationship go bad? So I think what we'll do is we'll jump on relationship as in couples, right? So we'll jump on that now, but we'll bring other stuff in as well, right? We'll bring other stuff in. The same again, I've got doing Mary's Hour here, but we could be on for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or the hour, right? It really depends how well it goes for there. It doesn't matter if one's on, there's 1,000 on. We're still going to be doing this, right? Because as I say, I really enjoy it. So, there's one here. What makes a relationship go bad? Well, there's a million things that can make a relationship go bad. A million things, when it comes to a couple. A lot of things, a lot of factors will kick in. You've got like jealousy and things like that. One doesn't trust the other one and stuff, and again, them reason not to trust them and stuff, because jealousy. I want to jump on this now because jealousy is a very, very, very bad emotion. It's a horrible emotion, and I've been on the end of jealousy without a doubt. This is not a poor me video, by the way. As I say, people will look at this and they can say I can relate to that a wee bit for you. That I've been in the end of it, like my job, for instance, what I do, personal training, massage, things like that. Sometimes that didn't get doing too well with certain exes, for there. But they did know what I'd done beforehand, So how do you fix things like that? How do you fix it? Well, number one, I always say to people when you're in a relationship, two things that you never give up is you never give up your friends and your routine. And I'll tell everybody that. You never give up friends and your routine. And you never give up something for somebody if they're unhappy, you saying, but I'm not happy about this, I'm not happy about that, blah, blah, blah. And especially if you've been doing this for a while. Now, this one's quite a good one because somebody asked me this the other day and says, could you put this one in? So, say for talking's sake, you've got two people in a relationship for there, and what it is they want to one of them, male or female, they want to say do something new. So let's maybe say talk about massage or something like that, right? Because it's not intimate, but it's quite intimate, but it's hands-on stuff on a job, right? Now, if you're with somebody for a while, blah blah blah, and then something like that kicks in, and one of the partners goes, "I want to do that," that's a big trust thing. So it's like do you turn around and say to them, no, you're not doing it, or why are you doing it, or what makes you want to do it all of a sudden when you want to do it for there. And it's communication with each other. Definitely communication. You've got to have communication with each other. 110%. Simple as that. As I say, I'll always say this, as I say to people, don't let things, outside, I call it outside forces, right? Don't let them come in and run your relationship, right? Because it's absolutely unacceptable. Now, anybody wants to send me a wee message here? Hi, Deborah Keys, how you doing, pal? Anybody wants to send me a wee message, a private mail, then you can send me a private mail, no problem. I'll read it out, but I won't mention your name. If you want to mention something, then I'll do that for there. Absolutely no problem at all. The only thing is, we're not going here to slag anybody. We're not here to slag a friend or an ex or a family or whatever. That's not what I'm all about, by the way. I don't want to do that. I just want to talk about this, say different subjects every week. But our subject a wee bit there. So, what makes a relationship go bad? I think what makes a relationship go bad is because communication is not that great. You don't have communication, sit down and talk about something, maybe he's no listening or she's no listening, stuff like that, And like I said to a client the other day there, there's good and bad lassies and there's good and bad guys. It's not one-sided. It's no like, oh, it's horrible world full of lassies and a horrible world full of guys, But it's both sides. It's both sides that can kick in with that. So as I say, we're not going to pin that one down. That's definitely not going to happen for there. But you need trust in a relationship. You definitely need trust. And when you get into that relationship at the very, very start, when you get in there, what you get into? Now, I remember some people used to say to me, you can pick them, right? Now, listen, number one, before we go any further, I'm no innocent, right? And you'll see this as I go on a wee bit, I'm no innocent. And I'm saying, but at the end of the day, we don't know who we're getting. Nobody knows who we're getting in a relationship. It's the exact same when somebody got me years ago. I was a badging, by the way. So as I say, I'm very, very upfront how I put this out. I'm very upfront. So it's you've got to trust the person, So you've got to be there for each other. And I always say to everybody, it's this wee bubble, right? You've got to keep the two of you in this wee bubble, and it's don't let anybody in this bubble. Do not let anybody in, right? I've got a lot of things I wanted to here because people have been asking me to say things, and we will get to it for there. And anybody that's wanting me to talk about a specific thing, you can just come in the wee post thing there and say it, or you can send me a private mail. I won't mention your name, and we can date for there. Anybody wants to maybe make a wee phone call come through, I think we can rig it up to the phone for there, and you can talk about something. But we're known here to slag nobody. We're known here to bring anybody down, The only person I'll be bringing down will be myself, because I'll be very honest about where I was years ago and who I was. Simple as that. Just one of the things, isn't it? Just a young daft boy. So, end of the day, what makes relationships, what makes them go bad? So, we've got Charlene McGuinness here. Relationships terrify me this day and age, Stevie. Well, you know what? You're right there, Charlene, because it's harder, pal. It is harder. It's getting harder and harder and harder to be in a relationship. Myself, I've been single now for maybe 5-6 years. You know what I mean? And I believe it's the right thing for me. It's the right thing for me because I'm addicted to my job now, and this is it. Blah blah blah. I'm an old man, by the way. So, but at the end of the day, I'm happy with that. But I never encourage folk to say be single or stuff like that. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? I have certain conversations with some certain people, with certain things, but that's a private thing there. But it is difficult, Charlene. Relationships terrify me this day and age. It is because we don't know who's telling the truth. You don't know what they want of you. What's their gain. And then, as I say, somebody says to me a while ago there, you can't live your life like that. And I went, no, I don't live my life like that. But we still don't really know. We don't really know who we're getting. And that's definitely what's really, really tough, because we don't know. No matter how good you think you are, by the way, no matter how clued up you think you are, we just don't know who we're getting for there. So, as I said, by the way, this can be a family, it can be a friend, it can be a relationship with a trainer or whatever, or relationships gone wrong can be with anything. So anybody that's wanting to write on that, they can definitely put in that for there. So Charlene here, 100% always appreciate your honesty, Steve. I always remember many years ago you telling me retail wasn't for me, and you were correct. I'm too career focused and happy. Do you remember that, by the way? Do you remember that day? I clocked that straight away. It just there you go. That can be another thing as well there, Charlene. That can be the relationship. See, remember, relationship, boom, it can mean so many things. What relationships mean here. I know some folk might be on here and they might be looking for, all right, well, I want to know about him, I want to know about her, and why this and why that. If you want to know that, by the way, then I'm willing to give information away. If you send me an email or whatever, I'll definitely help you as best I can. But as Charlene is saying there, me and Charlene had a talk years ago. We've done a wee talk with the Princess Trust years ago, and I just clocked in a mile away that was no your relationship, Charlene. That wasn't you. I didn't see that in you at all. I actually seen better things. Not that I'm saying, being with retail is a bad thing. I'm not saying that. I just saw you being that wee bit further, pal. So, let's jump on this one now. And I just said this at the start there a wee bit. Is jealousy. Jealousy ruins everything in relationships, by the way. Jealousy ruins everything, as I say, whether it be a couple, whether it be a family, whether it be a friend, or whether whatever. Anything that involves the word relationship with somebody, jealousy is absolutely evil. Simple as that. Now, I've always said to people when I'm coaching them, there's two jealousies that suit there, right? An example A would be, for talking sake, say somebody saw me having a coffee with somebody down in Motherwell, right? And that somebody goes back to, the person that I'm with and says, oh, I saw Stephen having a coffee with Jane Doe, blah, 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 blah. Then I came up the road and here's A and here's B. The first one is I would prefer the person to say, right, look, listen, Steve, I'm going to be honest with you here, buddy. We've talked to so-and-so and they saw you having a coffee with Jane Doe. I don't feel good about it. It's everything all right between the two, blah, 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 right? That's fine. But that's not what I go. That's not what I go. Hi, Jacqueline Morrison. How you doing, pal? The second one is where he or she can hold inside and say, I'm going to wait. I'm going to try and slip them up here. I'm going to try. Wow, you're on your way out. You're on your way out. Simple as that. When it comes to the relationship side, that you're on your way out. You have to approach the situation as fast as you can, right? Now, jealousy, I knew jealousy was going to be a big subject here because jealousy means a lot. We're going to talk about jealousy for a good bit before we get to the rest of it. We've also got a wee competition today, by the way, again, a couple of things away. So we've got Maureen Ross, the Holistic Healing Hands, is going to give away a Reiki session, and I'm going to give away a private lesson session. But you've got to answer a certain question, which we'll do at the end, and the first person in with the correct answer gets it for there. So, let's go back to that. Let's go back to the jealousy aspect here. Very, 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 very difficult. Marlon Adams, hi. How you doing, Marlon? How was you and Big Tommy's weekend? Was it all good? Was it all good? I seen Big Tommy reading the Holy Bible the other day there, so he's converted. Yes, he's converted, 100%. Tommy reading the Bible. The thing is Marlon has just come in there now, and you've just reminded me of something with Tommy, Marlon, but I'm not going to discuss that unless I've got Tommy's permission with certain things, but I think I'll bring that one back down the line again for you. So, where are we? Marlon said it was good. So, jealousy, let's stick on that now. Now, listen, please jump on this one, right? Listen, because that is a killer, man. It is a killer, right? Now, I've been punched, kicked, scratched, jailed, head-butted, bottle on my face. It was empty, but it was still a glass bottle and abused in public. Or jealousy, by the way. And as my mate turned in and says to me, well, you must be causing it. Wow, I can't believe he made that statement, right? That's what I've had. And quite a lot of that was there my job. You know what I mean? For there. Because I'll massage male and I'll massage female. You know what I mean? And anybody came forward knew that anyway. So listen, we're not out to slate people here. We're definitely not to slate people on here at all. Not at all, because I'm going to tell you some stories about where Mersey was, by the way. And Mersey was a bad boy. Simple as that. But as I say, when it comes to jealousy, you have to really sit down and have a decent conversation with each other. No, this is the one that gets me, right? Now, some folk might come on here and disagree with it, right? Watch this, they might come on and disagree. And usually, 9 times out of 10, when folks say, that's one thing I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous. Wow, that's the ones to me, in my experience, that are crazy jealous. And as I say, it's so bad. It's so bad. I could have a full hour talking about this one for here. So listen, we'll come back to that, because as I say, some people always got things written down here and what they want to talk about, but it'll be relevant, and we'll come back to it for there. So you can have your thoughts on that. If you want to write a wee thing at the bottom there and say where you are regarding the jealousy. If you want to send me a private mail and give me a situation of jealousy you've been on and you don't mind me reading it out, but I won't mention your name, then I can tell the world for there exactly where you are. But as I say, it's not good, and I've seen jealousy go really bad. I've heard stories on that goes really bad. Right, so here's one here that somebody wrote down, and is arguing a good way to resolve an issue? Weird, right? Is arguing a good way to resolve an issue? We're human beings, by the way, right? Now listen, I've been to a million counsellors before. I've been to psychoanalysts. I've been to psychos. I've been to all that, right? So I can have this conversation. Jacqueline Morrison says, just let me jump in that one now there. I can get a little jealous, but I don't show it. But let me jump on that, Jacqueline. Emotionally, your demeanour and everything will show it, and how you act toward the person. As I say, no bringing you down, pal. Absolutely no bringing you down. So Charlene, let's see, we're jumping back on this because I knew that's why we crop up. Charlene McGuinness says, go jealous or insecure. Jealous or insecure is synonymous with each other, by the way. To me, the two of them are just the exact same. I mean, if you want to argue about that, we'll have an argument about that, no problem. But they're the exact same. They're the exact same. But listen, we'll come back to that one for there. But I knew jealousy would play a big part because people will be talking about this all week and they're saying jealousy, right? Understood. So let's go back in this one about arguing. Is arguing good for a relationship? Right. Now I'm going to say yes, right? I'm going to say yes. Obviously, no violence and stuff like that, right? That's not going to happen. But definitely, Jacqueline, right? If you want to private mail me on that one later, Jacqueline, we could have a longer talk on that. But I'll help you with no problem at all. Arguing because it releases the tension, right? Now, I remember years and years and years ago, and I'm sitting there with a counsellor, right? And the guy wouldn't even talk to me, done my nothing, sitting there with the pen and the paper, and and it just done my nothing. As I say, I like folk to talk to me. This is how I like to coach. This is how I like to coach for there. It's arguing. Now, this is one thing that I've always encouraged people to do. Now, I've actually asked certain exes to do this, but they never done it. One actually laughed in my face, So, but listen, I'm not blaming her. Maybe she just didn't think that was the right thing to do. And here's what I think. See something's in a relationship, something's no right. Remember, same again, this can be any relationship. Doesn't need to be couple, but it seems to be going that way with couples, right? And what I encourage people to do is probably say every 6-7 weeks, say, right, for talking sake, every 6-7 weeks. And then what happens is, you write down the good and the bad, but what's been happening in that 6 weeks, right? So let's just say it's the end of every month, say something for there, or end of every second month, right? You don't want to be doing it all the time. So what happens is you'll sit there and you'll write down the things that's been annoying you before, right? It's been annoying you, it's been bugging you, this and that. So you sit down, you've got a wee Indian, you've got a Chinese or a chippy, you've got a nice atmosphere with each other. The two of you agree. Remember, it's no one, it's got to be two that agrees to do this, right? The two are going to agree to do it. And you sit down there and you have a conversation and you say, right, well, I'll go first and I'll say my list. Then we'll talk about that for about, say, 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes, whatever. No arguing. We'll talk about it. Absolutely no arguing, right? And then the other one sits down and says, well, here's my list. And I feel as though, and this and that, and this and that. And you just go to nod back. You never interrupt them. You just go like that. Okay. Even if you disagree with it, when it comes to the wee 5 minutes talk, after they send a list out, then you can have a wee talk back and say, blah, 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 for there. Now, the biggest thing is, right, and this is what I say to everybody. By the way, people say to me, how do you give relationship advice out when you're single? Because I wasn't always single. And I think I'm very experienced with relationships, seriously, right? Not to do with uni. Okay, I've got my uni stuff up in the water, but that's a small percentage, you know what I mean? It's life experience that's coming out here, so I can put it there. I know I can put it there, no problem. So, end of the day, when you do that list with each other, right? This sounds daft, right? But when you do that list with each other, then you burn it, shred it, whatever, rip it up, put it in the bin, and see the things that you've spoke about. It never gets spoke about again. He or she does not bring up the past. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. You do not bring up the past, and it's gone. If after all that's done and somebody starts to bring in past stuff, this and that, then that sort of thing's gone. That's gone for there. Marlon Adams say, I'm the worst for holding back if I'm not happy about something, but Tommy always knows. Well, let's get you on screen here. Let's get you on screen. Where are we? I'm the worst for holding back if I'm not happy about something, but Tommy always knows by how I am. I end up opening up and telling him. I definitely think talking and arguing is good for relationships. Yes, I totally, Marlon, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. We're human beings, man. And anybody that comes to me for coaching, I encourage them, boom, get it out there right away. Get it out there right away. Seriously, it is. Remember that I'm when it comes to like personal development and stuff like that, I'm private. There's no curriculum in me, by the way, right? I'll score you my clue, you no problem, and I'll just tell you what I think, and that is it. Simple as that, because I want to see this pain in your head gone as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Charlene, past always gets brought up, but that's a fact. The past always does. You know, you see, we're sitting here with a big list, and I knew that the jealousy thing or whatever, or stuff like that, and arguments would kick in. I definitely knew that, right? But it doesn't matter. This is what it's all about. It's quite good. We're getting a not bad wee crowd here. Quite happy with that. So, past always gets brought up, right? Now, listen. This one, I'm going to put this one out here, right? And I want people to give me a wee list on this, right? I want you to tell me what you think. I'm going to give you my answer first, right? I'll give you my answer, but I want you to tell me, this is my belief system, right? So, say for talking sake, you meet somebody on the Monday, right? You meet somebody on the Monday, you really like them, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Hold on, there's a wee update thing there. You meet somebody on the Monday, really happy with them, this and that, blah, blah, blah. See what you've done on the Sunday before. It's not relevant. It's not relevant. Now, I've got certain people, mates, right? No clients, mates, who'll say, oh, no. If you've slept with somebody or something the night before or this or that, blah, 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 that's relevant. No, it's no, man. No, it's no. No, it's no. I want people to give me your posts, your views on this. It's not relevant. Nobody should mention the past. How many guys you've been with, how many lasses you've been with, stuff like that. That's not even relevant. See, when you start talking like that, you've had it, by the way. I can tell you right now, you have had it. You're going to get him or her is back, boom, right through it. Simple as that. Charlene says, never thought like that. But it's true, Charlene, it's true. What they done a day before is no relevance to you. They're with you now. So it doesn't matter what they done. And then when they turn around and say, you know, like, because I've had this, and I've had this for a few mates actually, you know, and they'll say, no, but I want to know how many lasses, you know, how many guys that they've slept with, us and that. Why do you want to know that? Why do you want to know that? Why are you bursting your heart and your brain just to know? That's all that will do is grow and cause you major problems. Anybody that disagrees with me, please come in here and say, I disagree. Listen, this is what these wee podcasts here are all about, these live podcasts. I'm putting my neck out in the line. It's not a problem. I'm not going to sit there and say, no, you're right, blah, blah, blah. No, we'll talk about it. Marilyn Adams, the past is the past, in my opinion. If you want to build a relationship, you need to look at the future and never look back. Of course, man. You can't think, what was he like? What was she like? And if they talk to somebody down the street, were they sleeping with them or this or that, blah, blah, blah. No chance. Jacqueline Morrison, true, the past is the past, but some people bring that shit through. It's more about them. I've learned this. Yes. Do not. I'm telling you. You know, I was told that you only know to point, right? So I'll do that because we were told no to point. That was aggressive. I'm telling you right now is do not fall for that. If you're anybody that's involved in a relationship, whatever, then don't fall for it, please. Anybody want any more details on this? You're welcome to private mail me. It'll cost you nothing to private mail me, by the way, and me give you a bit of advice on that. Please don't fall for that. Please don't fall for that. So, as we said there, well, see, we're going back and forth at me. Quentin Tarantino here. So, as I say, is arguing a good way to resolve issues? Yes. As long as it's no violent and, you know, and being aggressive and stuff like that, you know, but raising a wee voice here and there, it doesn't go amiss because I say we're only human beings. It's as simple as that. Right. So, let's jump on to the next wee bit here, right? This is nearly half an hour in already, by the way. Right. Should you trust... Should you trust a partner 100%? No. You shouldn't trust anybody 100%. And as my mate will say to me, actually, it's my mate that passed away last week here, actually, you know, so, but we used to always have conversations on that, you know, and he used to say, so you don't trust me? You don't trust me? I says, I don't trust anybody, mate. And he used to say, but listen, that's a terrible way to live your life. It doesn't hurt me in any way or form. Plus, I'll never hurt you. It just means that I always say never trust anybody 100% because if they do you wrong, And there is a chance here. We know that. There's people on here, by the way. There is a chance that they will do something wrong. If that goes wrong, then at the end of the day, you didn't trust them 110%. Simple as that. Jacqueline Morrison says, I would say no. I've been talking that much, Jacqueline. Could you break that one down for us, here, pal? Could you come back in on that? And what would you say no to for there? It's your view, remember? It's your view, and it's no, you're not getting told that for me, not at all. So I would always say never trust 110%, but that doesn't mean to say, as I say to my mate, I would never treat you any different. I would never treat you any different. I would always be there for you, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But there's always a wee element where I think people really, really, really should hold back. They should hold back. It's as simple as that. So let's come off that one a wee bit. Wait a minute. Let's go back to Jacqueline here. We ain't only human. We are only human, and people make mistakes. No perfection. 100%, man. 100%, Jacqueline. Of course, we're always going to make mistakes. We're always going to make mistakes. See, when I get people, in here, and I'll say to them, and they've just started doing a relationship, and and I'll say, wait to get your first argument and all that. No, me. No, me. Yeah, it harms. It's harms. We're human beings. Right. So what else have we got marked down here? What makes you go into a relationship? Remember, you can write it the side here, and we'll bring you on in it. It can be any relationship. What makes you go into a relationship? What makes you there? Well, if you talk about couples, say, then you fancy them, didn't you? Wow, like her, like him. That's what makes you go there. That's what makes you go there. Anybody want to build on that? We can, as I say, just people that are writing stuff down, saying, ask that, ask this, ask that. What makes you go into a relationship? Same again, it's just human nature, who we are. Chemistry and different stuff. People feel it with each other, and I like him, I like her, and that's just where it goes. It's quite an easy one, that one to answer, to be honest with you. Right, so here's another one here, and hold on, now we'll get Jacqueline back in here. You're doing well tonight, Jacqueline. I'm liking this. Attraction, companion, sharing, love. Attraction, companion, sharing, love. What is love, Jacqueline? What is love? What is love? Is love spiritual, or is love physiology? But it's been actually proved that it's physiology. Let's get Marlon in here. Marlon says, definitely attraction and chemistry. Yes, of course it is. That's what happens. Definitely attraction and chemistry. Okay, so then we've got Niall Burke. All right, Mersey, big man. So listen, we've got Niall, who's opened up his new business there, by the way. He does car cleaning and stuff like that, and valets. Anybody wanting any more details, you can click onto his site if you're in here, or if you want details on Niall, then I will send you everything to do with car valets and stuff like that for there. So he'll know what you're doing, by the way. You might even do an Irish dance on the motor, by the way. So good boy, by the way, good boy. Charlene, similarities, yes. So we could split that one doing all day. Everybody, we could split it doing all day, right? Right. So here's another one, right? Why do you get sad when a relationship is over, right? We'll bring Jacqueline back in here again for that. Well, Stevie, love is about, for me, sharing, being there for each other, and spiritual. Do you know? Let's talk about that for 2 seconds. Love is all about sharing and being there. That's just Twitch sending me a message here. So we'll try to go on multiple platforms here, but I don't know what's happened, but I can't do it. Love is about sharing, being there, and spiritual. Now, you see that statement there? See that statement? That's a great statement. See, if everybody went by that statement, Jacqueline, it would be an amazing world. But they don't always do it. But I'm not saying it's bad, but it's a good statement. I'm very spiritual. I'm not religious in anywhere for them, but I'm very, very spiritual. They believe in higher power. I'm not 100%. 100% for you, definitely. So why do you get sad? Why do you get sad when a relationship is over? So let's just, I'll put wee situations here, and you can come in and you can tell me what you think, right? So say he or she is treating you so bad, and every day is a hard day with this and that and blah, 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 bad text messages, bad this, bad that, and then the relationship goes at the end of the day. So what makes you get sad, right? Very good one. That somebody asked that. What makes you get sad that when the relationship is over? What's Marilyn saying here? Sad because you have put effort, time, and love into building something with someone and they have broken and wasted your time. Right, Marilyn? Can we jump on that, Marilyn? Right? I don't want to say anything wrong, by the way, because the way Big Tommy can hit, by the way, and he can't hit me, so I've got glasses on. So, it's, do you think it's time wasted? Can people jump in on this if you don't mind? Do you think it's time wasted, by the way? Marilyn's saying here, you know what? I don't think it is time wasted. It is, but it isn't. And that's not how I look at it. It's not how I look at it. I look at it as, you know, it's another stepping stone in life. It's just another stepping stone in life. You know, so it's quite good. Sad because you put effort, time, and love into building something with someone and they have broken and wasted your time. Now, that has happened to me, Marilyn, right? That's happened to me. But, and I've also broken other people's hearts by, as I say, at the start of the video there, I'm not coming on here trying to be Mr., you know, because if there's any exes on here that like that, I've got a few things to say. Hey, come on, man, no problem. Say I wouldn't deny it. He's probably right. But I don't see it as sad. I just see it as move on, and I've learned something else in life. That's exactly how I see it. Now, a lot of folk can't see it that way. Jacqueline Morrison, putting in all the effort, loyalty, time, and love. Well, that's really just the same in a way as what Marilyn was saying, Jacqueline, isn't it? It's putting all that time in. But you know what? I always remember, and I was watching Fraser Crane. I'm a big fan of Fraser Crane. And Fraser Crane says to one of the people on the phone, and he says, you don't miss the person, you just miss what could have been. And I use that statement all the time now. You just miss what could have been. So Jacqueline, yeah, I've been a heartbreaker when I was younger. Oh, there's Jacqueline. There's Jacqueline putting it out there now, by the way. Oh, Jacqueline. So, we all get sad. We all get sad. Even if you call it a day in a relationship, even if you call it a day, we still get sad. We still get sad. It's as simple as that. We still get sad that it's over. And it's true because you've spent time with that person, you know, morning, noon, and night, phone calls, text messages, waking up to a wee text message, things like that means so much. Getting up in the morning and looking at your phone and going, oh God, that just means so much. That means so much. And it's a great thing to have. So listen, I know there'll be people in here probably saying he's talking mince. Everything I'm talking about here, by the way, is my life experience and my client's experience. I'm taking only 2% for uni here. Seriously, anybody that knows me that way, qualifications up on the wall, but I don't 100% bother with it. Simple as that. So what else have we got here? What else has somebody jumped on? Right. Okay. Right. So here's a good one. Here's a good one. Right. Should partners allow different sex friendships? Wow. Let's get Jacqueline back on here again. Do you think when you get older, you appreciate love and relationships more? I'll tell you what happens, Jacqueline. When you get older, you appreciate being yourself more. Simple as that. Big Tommy's on. How you doing, Tommy? We'll get you in there now. Do you think when you get older, you appreciate love and relationships more? You don't take as much shite, pal. You don't. I'm 54 now, 55 next month. Through Scorpio. And you just don't take any mints. Because you know something, and I will say this, and I don't mind saying this, and I don't mind telling the world this. I was a pure rat bag when I was younger. I was a pure rat bag to certain people that were not but really nice to me. And I was just an absolute rat bag. And they didn't deserve it. This is not the smallest violin in the world, by the way. This is just me telling a story. But when you definitely, you know, do you think when you get older, you appreciate love and relationships more? You don't think the way you think when you were 18 and 16 and 18 and all that. You're talking about like animals, you know. When you're older, it's different. It's absolutely different. Simple as that. Right, who we got here? We've got Ruth Atwood, right? Her man, Stevie. Oh, great guy, by the way. I guess it's because you have invested time, had hopes of building your life with them. Look at our commas and full stops. I like that, by the way. To a certain extent, you feel on some level you have failed. No, you've not. However, as I've got older, I've learned that some of those breakups have taught me stuff about myself that I needed to know and learn from. Now, that takes it right back to Jacqueline Morrison, where she says, do you think when you get older, you appreciate love and relationships more? Takes it back to that situation, right? So, telling you, that's all right. No, it's okay. That's all right, Ruth. Yeah, so that's, let's just, how do we hide this here? Sorry, that's it. So, right, let's jump on. No, sorry. Should partners allow different sex friendships? Right. Do you agree with it? Do you agree that your man has got a girl pal or your girlfriend has got a man pal? Let's jump on this one. Let's jump on this one. This one's a belter. This one crops up all the time. Seriously, crops up all the time, right? I don't even need to look at research books for stuff like this because I've been through this situation. What I always say is when you're in a relationship, there's two things you never give up, is your friendship and your routine. Never give up your friendship and your routine. Simple as that. And if somebody comes in and says, who's that on your Facebook? Why are you liking them, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Why are you liking that? Who's she or who's he? And but that's my mate, so-and-so. And me and her or me and him have then really, we've been great for years. Now, do you know what's really sad is when people actually get, sorry, we'll get Jacqueline back on board here. People will obey the other person and end up blocking people that don't deserve to be blocked, by the way. They don't deserve it. Each to their own if that's their thing. But you got to be open. You got to be open to this. Right, Jacqueline. You've got to be open to this. You've got to be, this is where it takes it back again to trust. Do you trust them? Do you trust them? You know? And as I always say to people, see if anybody 2 times you goes behind your back, this and that, blah, 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 you've just got rid of an idiot. That's it. You've got rid of an idiot. Simple. What's Marlon saying here? I think it should be okay. If you're confident and secure in your relationship, then it shouldn't matter who they're friends with. Aye, that's right. Tommy Hands, I have hundreds of female friends. Marlon totally trust me 100%. I know that. You see, I didn't know that. We've had good talks in here, Tommy. I know that. Great relationship, without a doubt. But I totally believe that whoever's in your life, then you don't get rid of them. It's as simple as that. You don't get rid of them. Right, we've got Charlene here again. Many years ago, I'd have said no, but now I've changed as a person. I wouldn't see it as an issue. Do you know why you've changed as a person, Charlene? Because you've got older, and that takes it right back to Jacqueline talking about getting older. So this is what happens. You become older and wiser, and you don't start talking like a daft young boy or a daft young lassie. The days are all gone. You get older, everything just becomes so much better. So much better. But I would always encourage folk, if you've got a friend, that's been there for a while, this and that, you never, ever give them up. You never give them up. It's totally unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And if he or she is forcing you to do that, then you've got to have a look at the relationship. You've got to look at the relationship and say, where am I going? This is not working out for me. It's not working out for me at all. But definitely, as Jacqueline saying there, Charlene saying there, Marlon, the older you get and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. Right. Are you ready for the next one? Should a cheating partner get a second chance? Oh. Should a cheating partner get a second chance? Let's see what comes in on this, by the way, right? Now, Mersey, I cheated. I done it 100 times. Jacqueline Morrison says yes. I'd like you to build on that, Jacqueline, if you don't mind. I'd like you to build on that. If you don't mind. If you don't mind, and you want to talk about it private, we'll talk about it private. So I cheated, and I was probably the biggest liar with this and that and blah blah blah. Right? I've done that. See, listen, this is what I vowed when I come on here. I'm not going to be this angel because I don't know who's watching this, right? And there could be exes on here that's going like that. I remember this and I remember that. Listen, I would never deny that, by the way. I would never deny it. No chance. You want to come on and publicly ask me for there, I wouldn't deny it. Right, hold on now, what Charlene's saying. I gave second chances and in the end had to walk away with nothing and start a life for me and my son. Tommy says, not a effing chance. Sorry for swearing. No, it's an open podcast, mate. Absolutely no problem, mate. Do you know what? I'm going to say no. You don't give them a second chance, right? And I'll tell you why I'm saying this, because I'm putting myself back out there again. I done it, and I was given second chances, and I done it again. And then I was given another chance, and I done it again. Then I was given I mean it this time, and I done it again. So, no, you definitely don't. Who we got? Right, so Jacqueline, hard as it would be, I would give them a chance, but I would not give other chance. Give another chance, other chance. Tommy, if they cheat once, they'll cheat again. What? I did it. I did that for there. Charlene, I was scared to be lonely. That's why I gave him another chance. That's what's called being left on the shelf, pal. That's what's called being left on the shelf. And I know people like that. They don't want to be left on the shelf, so they will accept the way they're being treated. Even situations I knew years ago, there's certain people that were getting beat up in a relationship, and they were blaming themselves. Oh, no chance at all. Absolutely no chance at all. So, but listen, if they're going to, Jacqueline, you actually just leopards can change their spots though. Well, right, can I jump on this, Jacqueline? Right, you're right, because see now, pal, I would never date again. I would never date again. You could probably folk out there will say, like he's going to say it in public. I will tell anybody where I've been. No problem. I wouldn't hold anything back. I done it. And see now, no, I couldn't. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And it's just the fear of it, no, I couldn't. So leopards can change their spots, stuff like that. So I'm going to agree with you there a wee bit for there. Yep. Who we got here? Charlene, been there, done it, and wore the t-shirt. Yep, 100%. Tommy boy, done it years ago and still regret it to this day. Well, I done it. I still regret it with certain people as well that I was with that didn't deserve it. They just did not deserve it. They didn't deserve it at all. They didn't deserve it. See, it's weird that's how it's gone today, isn't it? Because I thought the relationships was going to talk about other things, but it's just jumped into couples. Well, that's fair enough. But cheating, and it might be a horrible saying, right? But as I've always said to people, and I'm up front, by the way, I don't care what I say. If they've got a taste for somebody else, they'll not come back to you. And if they're there just because, well, it's convenient, isn't it? It's just convenient. I've got a bed to lie in, and I've, get a roof over my head or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, like the situation with me, I was full of it, by the way. I was pure full of it. Right, let's bring on Callum. Callum Brown. Cheating is the ultimate act of selfishness in a relationship and the ultimate rejection of a partner. When the trust is broken, it's often irreparable. You're right, Callum. You're right. It's hard, mate. It's hard. Definitely hard. So, Tommy, I would even think about it. Marlon would smash me. She would smash you. No problem, big man. Definitely. Marlon, I couldn't cheat. The guilt and hurtfulness would make me so unwell. Can I jump on that? I remember the first time I cheated, and guilty. Oh, the guilt was unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I'd done to somebody. Now, I'm going to say somebody that I loved. Did I love them? Because if I loved them, I wouldn't have done that. And I couldn't believe I'd done it. And I was like, I still think about that to this day, by the way. I still think about that. Why did I do that, man? Why did I do that? I always remember the first time. That's not saying that the person I'd done it with was cheap or this or that. Not at all. The person I was with was a good person. They don't know my full story, this and that. And they were only human beings. Some might say different on that. Charlene, I couldn't imagine hurting someone the way I was. It's a horrible hurt. It's a definite horrible hurt. Cheating, definitely. Definitely. So, we get Marlon here again. Yeah, that's how I would be. I can't handle stress or upset. Really, that makes me unwell. Of course it does. It's stress is the biggest killer. Charlie McGuinness is saying, what makes someone cheat? Okay, let's talk about me, because I wanted it. I had this, is the word unadulterated power. I had this, somebody and others wanted me. Brad Pitt. And I wanted it, and I took it, and I'd done it, and was a shitty power came over me. It was a shitty power came over me, and it just made me. I just wanted to do it, and I could be with her and her and her, and it just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. It's like I talked to you about the guilt. I can't really pin it down. I can't really. I mean, there's folk who hit you with science on it, but that's a lot of rubbish. So, but it just happens. Callum, seems to be something that's done more often when you're younger. Being on both ends not pleasant. Well, it was mostly when I was younger, mate. Mostly when I was younger, for there. Right, we've got Jacqueline. People cheat for different reasons. No, there isn't any excuse. There isn't any excuse. And when I get caught a couple of times, I didn't try and say, which is what's the one when some folk will say, you know, oh, I didn't mean it, and I was thinking about you at the time. Oh, get them to F, man. There you go. See you later. See you later. Jacqueline Morrison. You hit the nail on the head. It's a thrill. It's a thrill. Of course it is. And it's a thrill of not getting caught either, by the way. It's a thrill of not getting caught. And this is what hypes everything up, and this becomes a fetish and everything. We'll do a podcast on that. And this is what happens for there. So, Tommy, anyone being cheated on or being messed about is downright wrong. If they had any loving feelings for the person, this would never happen. Well, Tommy, that takes it back to when I first done it. And did I really love the person? I still think to this day I did, by the way. But I think 10 out of 10 would probably say, no, you didn't, because you would never have done it. And the guilt was killing me. And I was going to tell her. I'm like, oh, right, I'm going. And you know what? I'm a typical male. I was a coward. Couldn't do it. And instead of trying to fix what was inside me, I just done it more and more and more. And then you have to let that person go, because it's not happening. It's not happening for you. Right. So listen, well, let's finish off with this one here, right? How do you feel when a long-time friendship, right, not a relationship here, right, but after that, I don't know, because we're coming to the end, right? It flies by this. How do you feel when a long-time friendship comes to an end? Somebody you've been pally with for years, and it comes to an end with an argument or whatever for there. I'm not going to say a partner, like somebody passed away. No, that'd be a completely different topic. But somebody that's, you know, still on this realm and stuff like that. How would you feel when a long term is going for there? Charlie McGuinness is saying heartbroken, literally. Yep, aye, definitely, aye. You know, and you'll find, because I've heard it through the years, that when people fall out, they fall out, you know, for stupid things, and it just stands there. Marlon, I've been so hurt in the past, and it took me a long time to trust and be ready myself to have a relationship again. And you know, I know. It's difficult. It's difficult. But sorry, here we'll go Jacqueline again. Sad, or in my case, relieved, or relived, or relieved. You can let me know what that one was there, but Charlene, I value friendship so much it hurts. Yep. Let me jump on this, right? Now, as I say, I've got about maybe 5 minutes left here. I've still got a wee competition to come up as well. Remember the competition. In fact, we'll do the competition right now. So what we're doing is I'm giving away a free personal training session, right? Free 1 hour personal training session. And Maureen Ross from Holistic Healing Hands is giving away a free Reiki session. So I'm going to put out 2 questions here. And whoever gives me the first 2 that comes onto my messenger, right, my messenger, and gives me the correct answer gets that prize for there. Now, listen to what I'm saying on this one here, right? Who was Mike Tyson's first trainer? You have to think about that. Who was Mike Tyson's first trainer, right? And second question is, who did Mike Tyson beat to become the heavyweight champion of the world? So, who was Mike Tyson's first trainer? And who did Mike Tyson beat to become heavyweight champion of the world? The first private mail that comes through, that's who I'm going to do it. I'm going to take it for there. You don't need to post it on here. It's the first private mail that comes through. Right. So we've got here Jacqueline. Relived because I realised she was toxic. Well, toxic's bad. We could have a full conversation with toxic. Callum Brown, I sometimes find it hard, especially if there was more I could have done to save the friendship. If it's a betrayal, that's different, right enough. Yep, definitely. Just send me that in a private mail, Tommy. But I'm going to tell you right now, mate, your answer's wrong. Your answer's wrong. Definitely. Right. See this one here, Charlene, define a narcissist. That would take up a 2-hour show, maybe more. In fact, you know something? We're going to do that. But I'm fully booked on what I want to do when it shows up to the end of November. We'll do it at the end of November. We could talk about a narcissist all day, man. Narcissist is absolutely rife, you know. So think again, Tommy. Just think again. Who is Mike Tyson's first trainer, right? And who did Mike Tyson beat to become the world heavyweight champion? And two ones that come through first on that, you'll get the prizes free of charge. So, what's that there? I don't know about boxing. Go on the internet and look it up, missus. Go on the internet and look it up. Right? All the answers are there. They're all there. So, narcissist, let's bring that back up again. Let's bring that back up. Define a narcissist. Well, no right now with the minutes we've got, but we'll definitely be bringing that one back on. That's massive. Jacqueline Morrison. So many narcissist people out there these days. Aye, of course, man. Of course, definitely. Fideas. That's a difficult one. So, listen, we're coming to the end of my second show, right? So we've only got a couple of minutes to go. So I'm going to stay on for another couple of wee minutes. If anybody here's wanting to get a wee talk about anything. Brian McCarron, wrong answer. Brian McCarron's wrong answer, but I will give you the second answer. And Brian McCarron has answered to Trevor Berbick. So Brian McCarron, where's my pen? Brian McCarron can get that one there. 2 seconds to write this down. Brian McCarron. So one's away. So I don't know if you're going to pick Brian. Are you going to pick personal training or a Reiki session? I don't know if you're going to pick me. But listen, you've definitely not got the answer with the trainer, mate. It's the one a lot of folk don't know. They definitely don't know. So, as I say, this is flew by. This is it near the end for here. I actually thought a lot more would have come in there regarding friendships and stuff like that. But when it comes down, right, okay, listen, this is what you need to deal with. Are you trying to tell me that Chris Eubank's Mike Tyson's first trainer, Jacqueline? Come on, man. You have your tatty. No chance. Or you try to see who that's who you beat? Come on, no way. I don't know what you own, Google or Gaggle or whatever, what you own, man. So, no chance. It's dead easy to know, by the way. But a lot of folk do get it wrong. Mike Tyson's first trainer for there. Have we missed anything out here? We missed anything out. So, once again, I've really enjoyed it. This is my second one here. Now, what we're going to discuss next week is bullying. We're going to be talking about bullying, and it's people that's being bullied, this and that. Now, listen, it's not just a case of let me jump in. Hold on now. Let me jump in, Charlene. Family relationships. This may seem weird to some, but it's wrong to worry about as a parent passing so much. Yep. Okay. Yep. See, we could talk for hours on this. We could talk for hours. So the next week is going to be bullying. Now, it's not just bullying in school. Your kids being bullied and this and that. You've got cyberbullying. I've also got certain people that I know in the workplace, by the way, who are being bullied in the workplace. Older lassies and older guys, and they're being bullied. So it's not just kids, you know. What do you do in that situation? How do you deal with bullying? I know how to deal with it. I know how to deal with it. Boom, you just put one right in their chin, and that's it at the end of the day. And I encourage that. 7 days a week because you don't want to be living in pain. Nobody wants to be living in pain. In fact, so there you go. There's an example. Marlon Adams, I get bullied in my last workplace. See, it happens to adults as well. And yes, that's true, Jacqueline. Trolls, cyberbullying. Callum Brown, are your lives always on a Sunday night, mate? Yes, always on a Sunday night. At 7 p.m. It was originally going to be a Friday, but some folks say people are going to be talking to yourself, you know. But we had a good wee crowd on here, by the way, which is good. A good wee crowd. Always on a Sunday, 7 p.m. for there. Somebody asked me if I would do 2 a week, but I think 2 a week's too much. I think just 1 a week at the end of the week is really good. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. So Charlene, thank you very much. Always appreciated. So anybody want to know any questions on or stuff on that next week, bullied for kids to adults, cyberbullying, things like that, then just send me a message anytime at all and I'll mark it down. People send me stuff and I mark it down on a list and I put it out for them through there and it gets it going. So I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it, definitely. Jacqueline, I've enjoyed it as well. As I say, it's flying by, man. It's just, I could go on for 2 hours, but I feel as though, you know, it would get boring then. I think 1 hour's enough. We just let it go at that 1 hour and we just leave it. Just leave it for there. So, listen, everybody, I hope everybody's well. I hope you're doing good. I hope nobody's annoying you. I hope that, you know, when you wake up in the morning that you appreciate life and everything. I'm not religious in this, and I'm not trying to put it that way for you there. I'm very, very spiritual. But just, you know, if you want to say an affirmation, you know what an affirmation is when you feel it for here and here, is when you say, thanks for this and thanks for that. You don't just say thanks for this and thanks for that. You say it and you feel it, because every day is a gift to whatever's out there, whatever that higher source is going to be. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Please enjoy your life. We get one shot at it, by the way. Simple. Don't let anybody annoy you. Don't let anybody bug you. Don't let anybody live in your head rent-free. Just keep moving forward. Never, ever look back. If you run your own business, don't let anybody upset you in any way or form. Just keep going forward, because the problem is more with them and not with you. Love you all to bits. Thank you very much for coming on. We're 56 minutes here. And anybody want to know anything else about whatever I do, you can just send me my number's at the bottom there. Any private mail me anytime or text me anytime, and we can talk about whatever. If you want to add a subject in, then we will definitely help you for there. Let's be careful out there.